Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and today in this game unboxing, I'm excited to be revisiting a new Star Wars based game, The Clone Wars, coming from Z-Man Games. This uses the Pandemic system, which a large majority of you are likely familiar with from Pandemic games in the past. There's also been multiple themings of this system over the years, and now we're looking at the theme of Star Wars, which is certainly going to bring a whole bunch of people to the table, being that it is such a popular IP. So without further ado, we're going to flip this thing over, take a look at the back of the box. I'll show you what this game has for you, and then we'll check out all the components inside. Galaxy in Chaos. The Grand Army of the Republic wages a valiant struggle to defeat the fearsome droid armies of Count Dooku as world after world falls to the evil Sith Lord and his Separatist war machine. Turn the tide of this devastating conflict in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, a Pandemic system game. Stand with your allies as legendary Jedi facing entire legions of battle droids and their vile leaders across 4 exciting scenarios. Using your unique abilities and the power of the Force, team up to complete missions that will bring a decisive end to the Clone Wars. When you first open up the box, you're going to run right into the rulebook. We're going to take this out and go through it over a number of pages, giving an idea as to how it looks and it's formatted. The first couple of pages leads you to a number of setup steps, 9 in fact, all the way down to the very first turn that you'll take in the game. And from there, it will jump you into key concepts over here, talking about Jedis, enemies, squad cars, the die, missions, and then it jumps into playing the game in terms of the different phases. You got ready cards, do 4 actions, activating the villain, and invading planets. As you move through the rulebook, you're going to see these yellow columns here. These are examples that are going to help you to reinforce what you're reading inside the rulebook. And of course, it's always important to know the winning and losing conditions. It states if the threat marker reaches the bottom of the space threat track, all players immediately lose the game. If you complete all the missions in the deck and then complete the finale on the back of the villain sheet, the players immediately win the game. You'll also see on the right-hand side, it talks about solo play. Here's an up-close look at the solo play section here. It breaks down the setup instructions in terms of controlling 2 Jedi and doing a 2-player game essentially, and you have playing the game down below. It moves into villains afterwards. At the end of the rulebook, you have a fine point section, which is really handy because it covers frequently overlooked rules, things around ally cards, mission cards, Jedi villains. It really just hammers home a number of points of interest as you're learning the game and playing it. And now here is a look at the foldable game board laid out on the table, all the planets listed. If you know Star Wars, you know a majority of these, if not all of them. And there's also references around the board itself for the player turn here in the bottom left. Up top left, you got the threat track. Now, the portion of the board that's cut off at the very top, I will zoom in on later, where there's some decks that will be placed. There's also a tracker up there off screen as well. But on the far right-hand side, we have more places for cards. Long story short, this entire board folds down into just one of these sections, so quite small all in all. So in the top left of the game board, you have the threat track. You also have the villain sheet, villain deck, and villain discard slots. On the right-hand side of the board, you have the invasion deck, the invasion discard, and the invasion track. On the right-hand side, we have more slots for more cards. We have the mission deck, the missions. We also have the squad deck and the squad discard. Down in the bottom left, we have a nice handy reference for the player turn, which breaks it all down quite simply. It is high level, and it also has a reminder there on the hand limit. Heading back inside of the box, we have the storage area for all the minis, which we'll take a look at up close first, and then afterwards a look at the cards. Now we move on to the final components inside of the box. We got cards, as I talked about earlier. We also have tokens, we have dice, miniatures, and more miniatures that we're all hiding in the bottom left-hand compartment of the game box. So let's go through all of these up close right now. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up this game unboxing for Star Wars The Clone Wars from Z-Man Games. Really hope this helps you get a great idea as to all the components you can find inside the box. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.